Looks like we're live. Alright, hi everyone. Welcome to the Adonis podcast. I've had a very busy day and I'm very hungry, so I'm going to be eating while I'm live streaming this. But recently, I discovered that Charli D'Amelio has a secret account here on TikTok. It's called username Charli Got Bored. And she says she has a big announcement coming up in a few days. And she's like, this is everyone who finds this account. You know, this is part of my secret fan club. You know, there's no house chat. She's even going to put the account on private soon. So I said to myself, you know what would really piss her off is if someone exposed her secret. I knew it wouldn't actually piss her off. I mean, it is a public account. She wants people to find it, but I made a video exposing her quotation marks secret account and posted it. And to my surprise, Charli actually liked the video, so I guess she didn't mind that I exposed her special secret. But that's what I wanted to talk about today is the fact that Charli is actually one of the few women in the entertainment industry that I actually respect. Because I don't sense the fakeness in her that I sense in other influencers, TikTokers, actresses, singers, you know it. Anyone who watches this podcast generally knows that I'm not very fond of famous people or people with a popularity status. And that is mainly because I've noticed from what I've seen online and also because I've had the opportunity to meet plenty of these so-called famous people, I've noticed that they carry around a special brand of arrogance, and they automatically think that they are better than the rest of humanity, not because of their talent or lack thereof, but because they have a popularity status, because they have 2 million followers and you have 4. That automatically makes them better than you in every realm of human endeavor. And I just can't fucking stand people with that level of arrogance. Give me a minute here. I'm starving my ass off. So, let's rewind here really quick. Charli rose to fame at a very young age, I think at the age of 15. And she got famous for her viral TikTok dancers. And this woman was carrying infinite aura with her. Her fan accounts had fan accounts. She quite literally became the mascot of TikTok. You thought about TikTok. Like, I would honestly argue, people say TikTok made Charli famous. I would argue that Charli made TikTok famous. Because she got on the platform right around when TikTok came out. TikTok was known for Charli. She was the most followed TikToker. She was the most viral TikToker. Like I said, her fan accounts even had fan accounts. And then the tables turned. And everyone hated her for some reason. And now she still is famous, but she is nowhere near as famous as she was back then. Now we've got a bunch of dumbasses on TikTok like Brooke Monk and Leah Halton. Why did Leah Halton have the most viral video of 2025? All she does is lip sync to songs. She's not even singing the song. She's just standing there and pretending to sing it. Anyone can do that. I can do that. You can do that. Why is Leah Halton famous? She doesn't have any talent. She hasn't done shit. Brooke Monk is a prime example of why the homeschooled community is so frowned upon. She was homeschooled, grew up to be a literal dumbass. Her boyfriend is gay. I'm sorry, but You might be like, oh, but Sam Dees is dating one of the most attractive women on the planet. Sam Dees nuts. He regularly dances in dresses for her TikTok videos. And you're trying to convince me that this man is not gay? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is gay and he's just a pussy. And, maybe him and Monk have some agreement that, oh, if I dance in this dress for you, you'll make eye contact tonight when you're giving me my blowjob. Ah, fuck. My point is, TikTokers today ain't shit. They have no talent. They literally just do dumbass pranks or do gross, disgusting things, or they hop on weekend trends. Their dance moves fucking suck. What is this? They do this fish hand scene. I'm embarrassed to even do it myself because it's so retarded. But they put one in over their nose and they go like this. What the fuck is that? I can't show this right now because I'm on a live stream. But when I go back and edit this and clip this, I'm gonna include some videos of Charli's dance moves compared to the dance moves of TikTokers you say today of, say, I don't know, Giselle Catherine or Brinkley or even Addison Rae. I know Rae and Monk are, or at least were, friends. I don't know what their status is now. See, I don't keep up with these people. I rarely go on TikTok, and I'm planning on doing a separate episode where I review all my social media accounts to show y'all my algorithm. You go to my Instagram, it's literally just political points and motivation and how to improve yourself as a man and how to start a business. You go on TikTok, it's motivation and how does one improve himself. You go to Twitter, it's the podcasters I follow talking about random issues going around the world. I don't follow girls. I don't follow influencers. I don't follow the primarily famous people that most of society follows. I think it's a waste of time. And I also limit the amount of people that I follow. A friend of mine pointed out to me, one of my old accounts that got banned, because I'm so controversial, unfortunately, my accounts regularly get banned off of platforms, even though all the platforms that I'm on regularly claim that they completely support free speech. One of my last accounts on Instagram, before it got banned, I think I managed to rank over 200 followers, and I was only following about 60 people. And a lot of people, including some friends of mine, tried to shame me for it, saying that I was trying too hard to be famous, trying to make it seem like I was too good to follow these people back. And I explained to them, it's not that I'm thinking too highly of myself or anything, it's that I limit the amount of people that I follow because I'm trying to limit the amount of time that I spend on social media. If I'm on social media, I want to be posting and creating more than I'm consuming. Therefore, I think it's very important that I limit who I follow and how many people I follow. I think on my main Instagram account, I'm following about 70 people, and even that's too much for me. They drench this in dressing. I'm gonna have to take my gloves off for this shit. So, D'Amelio got hate. And I don't really keep up with her, but a while back I did a whole deep dive into her, did some research on her, tried to figure out why she got famous, why she got a lot of hate, because the people, see, this is the thing, I kind of related to D'Amelio, because the people that were hating on Charli didn't really seem to have a reason to hate on her. They all hated her, but every person that you tried asking, why do you hate D'Amelio, they couldn't give you an answer. And I related to that because I was once someone who was famous in the city of Tallahassee. Like, I don't think y'all understand. I couldn't go anywhere without literal crowds of people coming up to me. Like, I would go into the clubs, I would go to the mall, I would go literally anywhere, and people would fucking swarm me. And then it all changed. Then people started hating me. And I wasn't sure why. I tried to figure out why, because this is like new territory for me. I'm not used to having so many people hate me all at once. I'm not used to 1v soloing the entire city all on my own. I was genuinely curious, like, what did I do to these people that I don't even know to make them so pissed off, to make them hate me so much? And I had some friends go undercover too. I had some friends pretend to be my hater and then ask, yeah, by the way, why do we hate him anyway? No one could get a fucking answer. It was amazing to me, bro. So when I heard that Charli went through something similar, I was intrigued by it, and I started doing a deep dive myself on my own time. I found out, apparently the thing that Charli said that pissed everyone off is that she wanted more followers. And people were saying that she was ungrateful, she should be grateful for the followers that she already has. That is a stupid reason to fucking hate someone. Because literally everyone says that. Literally, especially today, all these TikTok influencers do is whine that 2 million followers isn't enough and they need more followers. They compete with other influencers like they're in the Olympics to get more followers. And they don't get more followers by being authentic to themselves and having actual talent. They do dumb shit like Jack Doherty and Clavicular and Fred Blaine, I think his name is, where they do stupid shit, retarded stupid shit, and make themselves look like a complete idiot out in public just for the sake of views. Like, I'm looking at this. This is why I generally don't really like TikTok. Because I look at this shit and I'm like, bro, who the fuck cares? Why do you care if anyone likes you or dislikes you? Why do you care how many views you get per video or how many followers you have? Half these people are bots anyway. Half these people you don't even know exist, and you wouldn't care if they exist. And here's the thing, we've got so many people going viral for the dumbest shit. We're getting to a point where everyone's famous, and because everyone's famous, they're boosting their own egos, and they're getting dumber and dumber by the day. And so what's happening is, now everyone's famous, so no one's famous. Let me say that again. Everyone is so famous that now literally nobody is famous. The influencers are just as famous as the actors in Hollywood. It's a fucking clown show. I would stop eating because I like to focus on the podcast, but it is 6 o'clock and this is my first meal of the day. I've been busy all fucking day long. So, Charli doesn't seem like an arrogant person or a bad person. She seems like she's genuinely just minding her own business. She likes to dance, so she posts it online for other people to appreciate her craft. And then she goes back to minding her own business. I unfortunately can't say the same thing about some of her friends. Addison Rae, for one, recently she was at the Grammys for some reason. I don't know. All she does is do trends on TikTok. I don't know why she was invited there. But she was wearing a dress, and she quite literally bent over backwards for the cameras so that they could photograph her thong. And I thought that that was absolutely disgusting, and absolutely anyone who think that that's fine or that's normal or enjoyed it is a fucking pervert. One thing is dressing in a sexy outfit, wearing a crop top, wearing a backless dress, whatever, that's fine. But bending over backwards to show everyone your fucking thong, that is extreme indecency. Like, who the fuck raised you? Who the actual fuck raise you? You know, I did a video once to make a point. I did a video where all I was wearing was a shirt and my underwear. Naturally, everyone was like, why the fuck are you wearing underwear? And people were like disgusted by it. And this is exactly what my point was. I'm like, so if I stand in front of a camera in my underwear, y'all fucking complain about it. But girls regularly post themselves in bikinis, thongs, all sorts of underwear. Bro, they got fucking, it's all underwear, okay? It's just categorized into bikinis, lingerie, bras, and panties. It's the same fucking thing. A woman wearing a bra and panties looks exactly the same as a woman wearing a bikini. It's the same fucking thing. Women post this all the fucking time, and that's all they ever post, and that's all they have to their personality. They have no personality whatsoever. They just post their bikini pics online for guys to simp over them and jack off to them. I stand in my underwear and a shirt, and everyone's fucking complaining. Like, bro, y'all are fucking stupid. Be fucking for real. So, what Amelia was doing, I don't think she was wrong at all. I think she got a lot of hate for no reason, and people unfollowed her for no reason. She said, oh, I want more followers. That's good. Because, okay, let me explain it to you. Let me explain it in this way. I'm a podcaster. Naturally, I want to grow my audience, and I want my podcast to reach the right people who will resonate with and will enjoy it. In order to do that, I have to boost my popularity, which is why I post on Instagram every single day. Consistency is key. Because if you have a great podcast, but no one fucking knows about it, no one's gonna fucking listen to it. If you're a dancer, as D'Amelio is, okay, that's her main thing. She does TikTok dances. She's been on Dancing with the Stars. She is a TikTok dancer, and she is dancing in front of the camera, in front of the world, for people to appreciate her craft. It is perfectly natural for her to want more people to follow her, and for people to like her content and engage with her content. A carpenter hopes you like the furniture that you build for him. A chef hopes you like the food that you cook for him. There's nothing wrong with wanting people to like your craft. What is wrong is when you let that shit go to your head, and like I was saying, a lot of these influencers, the only thing they have no talent, and the only thing they care about is getting followers. Here's another example. I've recently been having some talks with my uncle. No hate to my uncle whatsoever. He's a great guy. I brought him onto this podcast. But something that he's been trying to tell me lately that I don't 100% agree with is he's basically trying to get me to dial back on the intensity of some of my subjects, because he was like, listen, if you want to grow your podcast and you want to work with brands and whatnot, they're going to see the shit that you're posting and they're not going to like that, and you're not going to... Listen, I'm a self-made man, and I plan to be a self-made man. I plan to expand myself and my podcast on my own terms. Something that I don't like about a majority of podcasters, influencers, etc. is they are not authentic to themselves because they rely on brand sponsors and other people to promote them. Hey, we're Monster Energy. Just using this as an example. This isn't a real life event. Hey, we're Monster Energy, and we like your online content. We want to have you represent our brand. But you can't talk about this subject. You can't talk about this person. You can't do these things. You can't say these things. If you want to work for us, you can't say or do these things. That is a dictatorship. And mark my words, if there ever comes a day where a brand wants to sponsor me, it will be on my terms. That means if I like your product, I'll pose for a camera wearing your logo or holding up your energy drink. But the second you start telling me some shit of, okay, the second you start telling me some shit of, oh, you can't be doing that because, you know, you represent our brand and therefore you can't be saying this or you can't be doing this, deal's off. No. I am someone who I very strongly believe in representing myself and what I do and living my life on my terms, not anyone else's. And I encourage everyone else to do the same thing. It's your life. You should not change the terms and conditions on your life to meet someone else's standards. So the point I was getting at here, D'Amelio always stayed true to herself despite all the hate she got. And I don't know if she was already an adult when this happened or if she was still like in high school. But it's already a lot to be that young and have that much fame. It's not something she asked for, you know, she just got on TikTok and went viral for her talent. But to have everyone turn on you and hate you, especially when they don't have a valid reason to hate you, I imagine that has to be a lot. But it seems like she powered through it and she stayed true to herself. And, you know, I haven't heard her talking about politics. I haven't seen her partnering with brands. You know, I've seen her at events like the Kids' Choice Awards. And like I said, she was on Dancing with the Stars or whatnot. She's still out and about. But I don't see her doing any brands or TV shows or anything where she quite very obviously signed a contract. It seems to me that she's still being authentic and true to herself and doing what makes her happy instead of doing what other people are telling her to do to make them happy. And it seems like the hate from way back when has basically died out. And yes, she's getting a lot of her popularity back, but unfortunately, she's now being outpaced by a bunch of nobodies like Natalie Reynolds and Brooke Monk and Jack Doherty and all these idiots who have zero fucking talent whatsoever. So, I have noticed that I've never heard D'Amelio talking about controversial topics or getting involved in politics and whatnot. And that might be to protect her own image and brand, especially after what she went through. As someone who's been through something similar, I can tell you that it definitely rewires your brain. So I'm sure she's kind of still I don't want to say processing that, trying to find the right words here, but I'm sure that experience had some sort of effect on her. And so she's probably more careful now about what she's posting. And what I went through was something on a much smaller scale. I'm only famous citywide. She's literally famous all over the world. Anyone who has TikTok knows exactly who Charli D'Amelio is. So, like, you're taking me, this is what I went through just in a city. Imagine someone like her going through that, but it's an entire country. But I respect her for it. One of my biggest complaints with famous people is they get too involved in politics. Now, everyone who follows me knows that I love politics. But I feel that was something that was very recent, you know. I've always enjoyed politics. However, it wasn't something that took a primary interest in my life. It started taking a primary interest in my life during this most recent election when it became common sense versus no sense at all. You know, before this last election, I have always been friends with people on both sides. I've always studied both sides of it. And then in this past election, I'm like, okay, so one side celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk. They're trying to push pedophilia. They're trying to push, oh, I can identify whatever, and just because I see myself a certain way, you have to see yourself a certain way. They're trying to make everyone equal. Here's a perfect example. They're trying to body shame me. You know, you shouldn't treat a fat person any different than a skinny person. We're equal. No, we're not. If we're being chased by a tiger and I'm skinny and you're fat, the chances of me outrunning the tiger is going to be much higher because since I have less body mass on me, I'm going to be able to move faster and dodge quicker than you. Your fat is quite literally slowing you down. Oh, we're equal. How come it's fat people who are always dying quicker, dying at a younger age, developing diabetes, developing sicknesses, having heart attacks? I don't see fucking skinny people developing diseases and having heart attacks and all this shit. So no, we're not equal. I know that might not sound fair, but that's just how it is. We are not equal. If you want to be equal than everybody else, you need to work on yourself so that you can be equal to everyone else. But then again, we are never equal to anybody. A rich man is not equal to a poor man. We might be equal in the sense that we still have the same constitutional rights, but a man with money and status is naturally going to command more respect than a man who looks like a bum. That's just how the world works. So I just see that, like I see, and to be fair, the Republicans have their fair share of retards, like Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro. But for the most part, I feel like the conservatives, you know, they're people with common sense. They're people who worship God. They're people who worship their country. I'll take that over day. Like, you take that versus the Democrats. They're over here, oh, we're canceling Christmas. Why? Because we hate God. Why? We don't know. I don't know. We're Satanists. We don't want to admit it, but we're Satanists. We hate God. Like, I just look at the left. Not only are they evil as shit, but they just make no fucking sense. So I got involved in politics not necessarily because I wanted to be a political figure, but because it's common sense versus no sense at all. It's humanity versus inhumanity. Godliness versus Satanism. Like, it literally became, it was no longer my opinion versus your opinion. It quite literally became good versus evil. Like, one side is praying that Trump gets shot in the neck. The other side, you know, when Joe Biden came down with cancer, despite the fact that he's a fucking pedophile, they wished him a speedy recovery. Now, as for celebrities that get involved in politics, first of all, most of them are fucking stupid. A lot of them are just saying that to maintain their own image. But you look at fucking Sabrina Carpenter and Bill Eilish and Mark Ruffalo, it's very obvious they don't do their research. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And I'm not even pissed off about it. I'm not someone who gets pissed off. I just look at them and I'm like, these people are fucking stupid. It's so hypocritical. You know, the Epstein files just came out. RDJ, Tony Stark himself, is on the list. So there are plenty of other celebrities, including Bill Clinton and George Clooney and Ellen DeGeneres. There's plenty of politicians on both sides. Let's be fair here. Ron DeSantis is in the files for some reason. I don't know why, but Ron DeSantis is in the Epstein files. There are plenty of other politicians on both sides on the Epstein files as well. However, the only name they care about is Trump. They don't care about anyone else. There's even suspicion, people are saying, that Ellen DeGeneres left the country because, not because of Trump, but because she was about to be exposed for eating the brains of children. I don't know how true that is, or if there's any truth to that whatsoever, but people care more about Trump than that. It's like people pick and choose who they want to charge as guilty, and they pick and choose who's guilty for what. They pick and choose who can do what. Let me put it to you this way. People don't hate you, what I've noticed. People don't hate you for the things that you say and do. They hate you because it's you. They hate you because it's you, and that's it. Zara Larsson just got on stage and started making fun of abortions. Quite literally just started casually. Some idiot in her audience, I don't remember exactly, but she said something to the effect of, in her TikTok comment, she said, you know, I went to your concert while I was pregnant, but then I aborted the baby, so the baby got to hear your awesome music before I killed it. And then Zara Larsson basically praised her, called her queen. I'm just looking at this, I'm like, so let me get this straight. You just publicly celebrated the death of an infant. But I come on here to state my opinions on politics. And you know what happened? People showed up to my job to get me fired for it. Mind you, I have not publicly disclosed which company I was working for, but I will tell you this. I was working for a chain. You know how there are chains around the country? You know, you've got Walmart, Chick-fil-A, fucking Sears. You know how there's chains of businesses? I was working at a business that was a chain of businesses. They have it throughout the country. When these people caught wind of where I worked at, they went to every single location in the city of Tallahassee to find me. These were all FSU people. So I'm like, so let me get this straight. Y'all sign up for 8 a.m. classes, and then you're too lazy to get out of bed to go to those 8 a.m. classes because you were out drinking all night, and then you won and you're getting a bad grade, and you're complaining that life's too hard. But you can put in the effort to drive all the way across town, far away from campus, and travel literally the entire city to find out where I'm working just to get me fired because we don't agree with his opinions and we think he's the bad guy. I'm the bad guy. I'm sorry, motherfucker. Last I checked, I wasn't tracking people down to their jobs. Yeah, so what was the point I was getting at, though, with D'Amelio? Now, a lot of people are going to call me out for this. They're going to say that I'm hypocritical because, you know, something that I talk a lot about is women dressing more modestly. And D'Amelio regularly wears, like, backless dresses and crop tops and sexy outfits. So people are probably going to say that I'm being a hypocrite for that. And I would argue that I'm not. See, there's a difference between a girl who dresses somewhat modestly and is still a normal fucking person versus a fucking hoe. A lot of these OnlyFans creators, a lot of these girls that you meet where they're literally just covering their nipples and their clit and nothing else. Like, they even got their ass cheeks out there, got their boobs all the way out there, wearing nipple pads and whatnot, and they wear this on a regular fucking basis. You'll notice that there is a significant difference in the way they act, in the way they treat others. For the same reason why I don't like a majority of people with popularity statuses is the same reason why I don't like a majority of women who dress in a scandalous manner. It's not necessarily because I don't like what they're wearing, because let's admit it, you see Charli in a crop top. Any man with natural chromosomes is going to find that attractive. You might say you don't agree with it because of your religion or your beliefs or for whatever reason you don't think women should dress like that. But let's be honest. If you see a fit woman walking down the street in a sports bra or some sort of attractive outfit, it is completely natural to find that attractive. I'm not asking you to agree with it. I'm asking you to just be a fucking man and admit that it's attractive. If a woman wants to dress in yoga pants and a sports bra, but she's actually a kind person and a genuine person and friendly, I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is when these girls, they go to the gym, right? They roll up their shorts as if their shorts aren't already short enough. Like, first of all, their shorts end like right here. And like, I'll be in the gym and I'll just see some girl walk in with her yoga mat. Throws the yoga mat down. Bending over, ass facing everyone else. Like you're in a corner, but you're bending over, making sure your ass is facing everyone else. And then she starts rolling up her shorts. All the way up. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, bro, that cannot be comfortable having your shorts all bunched up between your legs like that. And then she starts adjusting her top. She starts pulling it down, cuffing her boobs, putting them out. And then they get on TikTok. And then they whine. Why are all men such perverts? I was just at the gym for 2 hours and all these men are staring at me. I don't know why they're staring at me. Why are all men staring at me? Really? Look, if you want to dress like a slut, it's your American right to do so. But if you're gonna complain that you're getting too much attention from everyone else for it, I have a very simple solution for you. Throw on a fucking hoodie. If you're that self-conscious about your body, throw on a fucking hoodie and stop complaining. It's like these people who get online and then they whine, oh my god, I'm being cyberbullied every day. Then turn off the fucking computer. If you can't handle it, turn off the computer. Listen, everything in life has consequences. Everything is action and reaction, cause and effect. If you are a fit woman walking around in a sports bra, you are going to get guys looking at you because they are attracted to what they see. It's not necessarily being a pervert. Now, if you're working out, regardless of what you're wearing, and there's just some guy sitting there looking at you, yeah, he's a pervert. We can agree on. But I see these videos, and I've seen real life scenarios too, where a guy is just literally just minding his business and he just happens to look over, because that's what humans do, you know, we look around when we're out and about. And the girl gets fucking, oh my god, I'm so pissed off, why are you looking at me? So, are we just supposed to wear blindfolds while we're out in public? That is why I generally disagree with girls who dress like that. Because girls who dress in that manner, they come with an attitude problem and an ego problem. And yeah, basically, it's giving me a fucking headache to even fucking talk about it. Now, D'Amelio doesn't seem to do that. I don't see her hopping on podcasts talking about how she hates men. I don't see her whining all the time that people are looking at her funny. Like, matter of fact, I don't think I've ever seen her whine about anything. I could be wrong, because like I said, I don't follow her. I don't keep up with her life, so I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I've missed. But I don't ever see her whining about anything. Like, she quite literally just kind of exists, does her own thing, minds her business. People want to praise Zara Larsson for making a joke about aborting babies and murdering babies. And they want to applaud Addison Rae for showing her song to a camera and an audience with children in it. But then they want to hate on D'Amelio for literally just minding her business. Literally, that's all she's doing is minding her fucking business, and everyone hates her for it. And I just look at this shit, and I'm like, what in the actual buffoonery is this? Like, y'all are some fucking next generation clowns. So, as far as what she wears, I think it's modest enough given what women wear today. Most women wear practically nothing. Charli D'Amelio, even though she wears like crop shirts and stuff, she's still dressed in clothes. Listen, the whole modesty thing, this is in the 1950s. You don't need to wear pants when it's 80, 90 degrees outside. You don't need to cover your hair like a nun. You don't need to be covered. Like, people think dressing modesty means you can't show any of your skin whatsoever. No. Given how far we've come as a society and what's been normalized and how people dress today, and especially because I live in Florida, so it's a lot hotter, so people tend to wear less clothing because it's fucking hot out. I ain't wearing pants in July. I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't wearing fucking pants, so I get it. I think if you're just wearing like a crop top at a normal length, or you're wearing just shorts that show off your legs, I think that's fine. I don't think that's necessarily immodest. I think what is immodest is when you dress like a hooker when you're wearing a fucking string. Bro, I see these girls wearing fucking string. It's literally just this thin little string going across their nipples. I'm like, bro, that wouldn't fit on my fucking wrist as a bracelet. How the fuck did you even get that on your body? Or they curl up their shorts and they got their ass cheeks hanging out. Like, they're just walking around with their ass cheeks hanging out. Every now and then I'll have this conversation with an older gentleman, and they tell me, they're like, back in my day, if you saw a woman dressed like that walking around, you would think that was a hooker. So yeah, that's where I think I'm going to wrap it up. But it's something that came to mind when I came across her account, her new account, her top secret account that's not so secret because it's not on private yet, and I also managed to expose it because I'm a bad person. But I think Charli gets a lot of unnecessary hate. Listen, it's all a cult. Hollywood, influencer status, all this shit is a cult. These people are fucking weird. Every single day, when I hop on social media, I see celebrities and these so-called famous people doing retarded shit for views. And I see them fucking doing shit on a daily basis, bro. I literally see Hollywood celebrities doing things on a regular fucking basis that normal people like you and I would get arrested for in seconds. That's why I don't respect Hollywood, because Hollywood is directly tied to the government, which I also don't respect. Bro, I don't even respect the cops, bro. Because I see videos on TikTok every single day of cops doing shit they're not supposed to. There's a lawyer that I follow, actually. His name is Dr. Judge. And he reviews a lot of these viral videos. And he is someone who is a criminal defense attorney, also ex-cop. He regularly talks about this kind of thing and reviews it. And he talks about what a police officer should do, but then he also talks about what a citizen should do. Rule number 1, I don't answer questions. Or as he likes to put it, I don't answer questions without a lawyer. I need to get his book, honestly. He has a book that I'm planning on ordering. But rule number 1, I don't answer questions. This is something that I strongly agree with. We do have First Amendment rights, which is the freedom of speech, but we also have Fifth Amendment rights, which is the right to remain silent. And a lot of people allow themselves to get manipulated by law enforcement to talking more than they need to talk, and essentially incriminating themselves even if they've done nothing wrong. So for those of you, especially if you're going through something controversial, because let me tell you right now, something that helped me get through my controversy and legal cases and whatnot was the advice that I got following Dr. Judge. As far as D'Amelio goes, I can't say she's a good or bad person because I've never met her. But from what I've seen so far, she seems like a pretty chill person. She doesn't seem arrogant or cocky. She seems like she kind of just keeps to herself. She has a natural talent for dancing. Even today, the bitch can dance. All these other TikTokers, they can't fucking dance, bro. They can't fucking dance for shit. And their TikToks are boring. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Thanks for tuning into the live stream. This is the Adonis Podcast.